FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It's where the majority of any funding for any post-secondary work that you want to do comes from. And post-secondary work includes anything that you do after high school, whether it be a technical school, community college, four-year college, or university. All of those things are considered post-secondary work. It's an online application that you fill out, and it analyzes your family's finances. It uses the previous year's tax returns. It helps the federal government and state governments and the schools themselves determine whether a student would qualify for any need-based aid. Need-based aid comes in the form of grants, scholarships, work-study, student loans. All of those things are considered need-based aid, and to be able to get any of that assistance, it all starts with FAFSA. As a student and as a parent of a student, you need to have your last year's tax documents. If your student worked, you need their last year's tax documents as well. And you need to recognize, for the most part, parents fill out the FAFSA for their students. Basically, two separate parts of the application. There's the parent portion where you're entering your information, and then there's the student information where you're entering theirs if they worked. The application requires that the parent have a separate username and password, and that the student has a separate username and password. So it's very important that you keep that information somewhere, because FAFSA is something that you have to do every year that you're enrolled in any post-secondary work. If a student isn't sure whether or not they're going to go to college or any type of post-secondary work, I still encourage them to fill out the FAFSA, because it's better to have that done and not need it than to need to have done it and not done it in a timely manner. So it's not going to hurt anything to go ahead and fill out FAFSA. It will only help if you change your mind. You may be unsure, and that's okay, but let's go ahead and take the steps where if you change your mind, you have those things in order and they're ready for you. If I had the attention of all seniors everywhere and their parents, I would encourage them to fill out the FAFSA early, to make sure that they complete it, because it is the key. It's the key that opens the door to any kind of financial assistance for any post-secondary work. For anyone needing more information about filling out FAFSA, what FAFSA is, there are resources available. Start with your counselor and we'll go from there. There are resources available to get you connected with those funds through FAFSA.